Are you learning cello through Essential Elements Book 2? Then this is the video for you. Today I'll be covering numbers 80 through 82, and here we are talking about a brand new rhythm. Hi, my name is Liz from Cellomoji.com, and I teach you tips and tools to help you on your cello journey. Alright, so in past videos we talked about 8th notes and 16th notes and combinations of them, and now starting from number 80 in this book, we are finally talking about dotted 8th notes combined with a 16th note. And this can be sometimes a little bit of a tricky rhythm for some people, but I feel like Essential Elements here really tries to break it down very easily so that you can understand what is going on. So first let's take a look at number 80. And this one is saying try this rhythm as a shadow bow so that you get used to what you have to do with it. And here they're doing it with what I call a hooked bowing. So that means that there are 2 down bows in a row, followed by 2 up bows in a row when you're doing the dotted 8th note, 16th note rhythm. Now, the way they count it is 1 E and right? So the 16th note is on the and then 2 E and So even though there is a slur across the 2 notes, even if it's the same note, because there are dots on them or down bow markings on them, that means it is not a tie. So a tie would be a super long note. These are actually 2 articulated notes, and I think that's important to remember that. So you can go 1 E and stop your bow, and then 2 E and So you don't have to feel like you have to link them into a smooth slur. These are what I call choppy slurs, and that's going to make this rhythm a whole lot easier to count. The other thing about a dotted 8th note, if you want more technical terms, an 8th note, if you divide it into 2, it would be 2 16th notes. The dot on the dotted 8th note adds an extra 16th note. So there are now 3 16th notes, and then the 4th 16th note would be the or the extra note that is tacked on there at the end. And so this is when you are dividing this beat into one full quarter note beat. So you can see in number 80, the time signature says 2/4, which means there are 2 quarter notes in a measure. And how they divided it is the first beat or the first quarter note beat there, that's 1 dotted 8th note, 16th note, and then a second dotted 8th, 16th note. So maybe all of this explanation seems a bit much, but this is also where using a metronome can also help. Even if you do it very, very slowly, you'll understand that all of, a certain amount of notes have to squeeze into one beat. And as you're going through the piece, you want it to be fairly steady. So to hear this in context, I'll go ahead and play number 81 with the track so that you can actually hear how this fits in. Again, it's basically the same thing that you see in number 80, except all it is you're using an open D, and then on the quarter notes in measure 2, I'm putting my first finger down for the E. Measure 3, that's an F sharp, so I have to put my 3 down, and then back to 1 on the E, and then the open D. So I'll go ahead and play number 81 with the Essential Elements track so that you can hear how it fits into the beat. There is a repeat sign, and it ends on a down bow and starts on another down bow on the repeat, so I'm going to make sure to do a nice little circle bow. All right, here we go. Okay, so now let's talk about number 82, because 82 now uses this new rhythm, the dotted 8th note 16th, and it combines it into a D major scale. So in this one, the hooked bowing, or the down, down, up, up, that happens on the same note. It doesn't change in the measure. It changes per measure, but like when you're doing the hooked bowing, at least it's hooked on the same note. So that's something to keep in mind. Let's quickly review the D major scale with just single notes before we add in all of this more complicated rhythm. Okay, so I'll first play through number 82 by myself a little bit slower, and I'll maybe talk through some of it as well so that you get a sense of what the timing is and speed and rhythm and all of that. And then I'll play through once with Essential Elements Interactive. Here we go. So there was number 82, hooked on D major, and this was essentially a D major scale using the new hooked rhythm, or the dotted eighth note hooked into a 16th note rhythm that we learned today in this video. If there are any questions I haven't answered, please be sure to leave them in the comments below. I know this one can be a little bit tricky, so you know, if there's anything that I can do to clarify it and make it clearer and easier to play, I'm happy to give it a try. Check out the videos on your screen right now for some other great tips and tutorials, as well as try to check out some of the other videos on my channel that explores different pieces of music outside of Essential Elements. Perhaps you might find one that you really like and you really want to learn how to play. And then I'm happy to create tutorials for them as well. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!